Okay, let us simplify square root of 144 x to the power of 8 and y to the power of 14. What is the square root of this radical expression that is inside the square root? Now, what is the square root of 144? We know that it is 12 because 12 times 12 is 144. So, I can write 12 square times x to the power of 8, 12 square times x to the power of 8 times y to the power of 14. Like we discussed in the previous video, like nth root of x to the power of n is x to the power of 1 over n. So that square root, I can put 1/2 here. That gives me, using the properties of exponents, a to the power of m to the nth power is a to the power of mn, which is now 12 square whole to the power of 1/2. I'm doing it individually, like I'm separating this 12 square, x to the 8 and y to the 14. Okay, so x to the power of 8 to the power of 1/2 and y to the power of 14 1/2. Okay, that gives me 2 times half is nothing but 1. So 12 to the power of 1, that is 12. This is x to the power of 8 times half. That's how much? X to the 4th power. And 14, half of 14 is 7. So your answer is 12x to the 4 times y to the 7th power. So usually we can just write the answer instead of doing this whole of the scratch work. Square root of 144, you know that it is 12. X to the power of 8. So what is half of 8? You can write 4. X to the 4 is the result. Y to the 14, you can write as y to the power 7th power. But when the problem is complicated a little bit, like suppose if you have square root of 75 x to the 5th power, how do you do this? Process is the same. 75, I can write it as perfect square 25 times 3, and x to the 5th power, because this exponent is a 5 which is odd number, I can write it as x to the 4 times x. We know that x to the 4 times x is nothing but x to the 5th power. We didn't change anything, just those two are exponents separately we have written. Okay, so from this you have 25 is 5 square, x to the 4th power, I'll write here x to the 4 times 3 times x. They are by themselves 3 and that x, of course square root over there. So now square root of 5 square is just 5. Square root of x to the power of 4, like we discussed just now, half of 4 is 2, so I can write x square. And for this 3 and x, their exponents are only ones, hence I can just leave them inside the square root. So your answer to this kind of expression is included like 5x square. It's a product of rational and irrational numbers, we can say. Okay, this one here is 5x square times square root of 3x. That's the answer.